Rizzi, thank you so much for joining me today for the very first fish review from the very brand new Fishterview set. No longer on Border World because the border has consumed it. So,
Thank you so much for having me in this beautiful location.
thank you. Well, would you like to get started by introducing yourself?
Sure. So I'm RizziRealmhopper. I stream on Twitch, and I'm primarily a Minecraft content creator, although I do consider myself a variety streamer. It's just typically a variety of Minecraft, and very, very rarely something else thrown in.
Fantastic. So, what other things would you stream or create content around besides Minecraft?
So in the past, I've streamed Stardew Valley, Terraria, Calico, a lot of very cute games. Terraria was a co-stream with a friend for a while. That was so much fun. And I'd like to get back to playing that, but at the moment, I'm working off one monitor, and Terraria launches full screen and crashes it.
Fantastic.
So you work with the tech you got.
Yeah. That's actually very surprising that Terraria of all games causes crashes because it's kind of like a the graphics and the game itself don't seem like they would be very like intensive.
Right? I think it's just a mismatch of the size that it renders in and what my monitor is capable of.
Gotcha. Yeah, that makes sense. So, would you consider yourself like a cozy streamer then?
Yeah, definitely more like cozy vibes, try to be really inclusive and welcoming. Definitely go down the route of cozy games, but I did also play through Sally Face back a couple Halloweens ago.
Okay, I recently heard of this game because someone I know is doing a playthrough of it on YouTube, but what is Sally Face?
So it is the story of a guy named Sal who wakes up. There's been a pretty catastrophic set of events, and we're not really sure. Oh, I just caught a book. We're not
Ooh.
really sure what exactly happened, but Sal's mother has perished, and we got to figure out some creepy stuff that's going on in the new apartment that we moved into.
Oh, fun. I personally love it when I move into a new apartment and it's haunted. It just adds so much extra fun.
Extra neighbors.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it's like a free roommate.
Have you ever watched the show Ghosts?
I have not. Is that the one about the woman who can like see and hear ghosts, but everyone else can't, and she like gets rid of ghosts?
She doesn't get rid of them, but her husband and her move into this house that was left to her, and she falls down the stairs, is legally pronounced dead for a little bit, and ends up being able to see ghosts when she comes back into the house. It's a super old house, so it's really, really haunted, and all the ghosts just become her besties.
That sounds super fun, except for the possibility of like you just can never get away from the ghosts in your own house. Like you just want to read a book, but the ghosts are like bored because they've been ghosts for a long time and they just want to chat. And you're like, please leave me be. Like it's me time, you
Oh
know?
yeah, they really, really want to smell a pizza like all the time.
Can ghosts smell in this TV show?
Yes, ghosts can smell in this TV show, and they love watching TV as well. There's a Viking character, and one day the TV's on and a Viking show starts playing, and he's just losing his mind. He's so ecstatic.
That's actually amazing. Like I love the
It's a
concept that
really
like the
fun.
Vikings like I just want to watch the Vikings, like
Yep, yep.
HBO Vikings or whichever TV series did that.
I feel like it's literally that.
Yeah, it's gotta be, right? Like
It's so good though. All the characters are really fun. There's like a Civil War guy who's just so flamboyant and really, really upset that Alexander Hamilton had a musical.
all right, that sounds pretty good. What's this
It's a
show
pretty
on?
great
Where can you
show.
watch this?
I'm not 100% sure. I saw it wandering through my house. An episode was on TV, and I instantly was like, I need to buy the first season of this and check it all out from the beginning. I ended up picking it up off Amazon, but I know that's not where it originally comes from.
Well, I will be Googling where to watch that show because that sounds really fun.
There's also apparently, I watched the US version, but it was UK first.
Oh, there's so many shows that were UK first and then became American shows, and they're very good both in the UK and the US version. Like The Office, for example, was a UK show first, and I'm trying to think of the other one that I know for certain. But it's always interesting to me when shows were in one country first and then they made a whole new version for another country.
And they're really successful.
Yeah. But like somehow like they're the same show but very different.
Yes. It's like you can tell beat for beat which storylines worked out best for which characters, and it's not the same between the UK and US version. Like, our boss character may be a little more successful in this one, maybe a little less successful in that one, but it's the same storyline. Just how the actor plays it.
It's interesting. I would have never thought to do that, but like I'm not in showbiz, so what do I know?
I mean, we're a little bit in showbiz.
I guess that's a good point. We kind of are a little bit in showbiz as we're actively recording an episode of a video podcast show sort of thing.
We are going to be viewed.
True. We gotta hit him with that razzle dazzle, and I think it'll be fine.
My little razzle dazzle.
I'm in free cam, so when I did that, it just sunk my camera down. Oops. I forgot. Oops. Okay, so Rizzi, quick, totally different line of questioning. What's up with all the bees?
I just really, really like them. I've always enjoyed bees in real life as well. They've got a really important job to do. I think they're super cute. And when I was a kid, I was able to pick them up really gently and I never got stung. So I just always thought they were super sweet.
I love that. How excited were you when they added bees to Minecraft?
So incredibly excited. All the time when people ask what my favorite update is, I'm like, I feel like I really have to go with bees. I know Caves and Cliffs was amazing and totally changed the world, but bees, man.
I mean, bees did a lot for redstone and also decorating, and also they're just cute.
They're so cute. And candles. Oh.
Candles are great. I do wish they would fix the bee pathfinding, though. That's still a problem.
It is tragic, yeah.
Yeah, I feel really bad for them because anytime you try to put them in like an open area as part of decoration, they're gone. They disappear. Like, I don't know what happens to them, but they find their way away. So they added bees to Minecraft, and then Minecraft became somehow even more of the best game.
Oh yeah, instantly it went from like a 10 out of 10 game to a 12 out of 10.
What about Minecraft other than bees captures your attention?
So definitely other cute animals. If I see foxes or axolotls, I gotta stop and take a look. Absolutely adorable creatures. So happy with all of them being added. Also, I'm just a really big fan of walking through the generated landscapes and seeing what kind of things pop up. There are floating islands and like strange little nooks in mountains. I like finding places and thinking, oh, what could I build there?
So would you describe yourself more of an explorer then than anything?
I think I've gone through different phases. So I really started out definitely being an explorer more than anything. The first several worlds that I spawned into a jungle. And so I thought that was just what Minecraft was. And I would repeatedly die before I could get out of the jungle. So I would just spend all of that time running around. And then once I figured out that there are all these other biomes that exist, I thought, oh my gosh, I need to figure out a way to get through faster. and I wasn't flying around, so I took to a boat. And that was super fun for a while. And then I thought building could be interesting, like making a house could be fun. And that's where I kind of stopped exploring. I made
Hmm.
little houses along my way for a while, but very quickly I was like, I'm going to need more materials and to stay in one spot to really do something that looks cute and fun and like I'd want to live there. So I would say I'm a bit more of a builder these days, but exploration will always have a special place in my gameplay.
Do you feel like by becoming more of a builder and being more stationary within the game that you've lost out on something? Or do you miss any of the aspect of always sort of being on the move in Minecraft?
I definitely do in like the primary way that I play. Luckily, being a realm hopper and going onto so many servers, I get the chance to explore again. So I play on a server called Loaf, League of Amazing Friends, and it is a lightly modded server that has the biomes you'll go. And as soon as I got on there, I started exploring. And it's been so much fun. I gained something else in becoming a builder, but I definitely miss exploration and it was fun to get back to it.
What is, for those that don't know, what is Oh the Biomes You'll Go?
The Biomes You'll Go is a really neat mod. It overhauls the biomes that are available to you in the overworld, the nether, and the end, adding a ton of new blocks, including other types of netherrack. There's a brimstone that is in the nether, and if you process that down, you can create green lanterns out of it. Super fun. We haven't been to the end yet, so I don't have a super clear idea of what that looks like. But in the overworld, there are these magical glowing biomes. There are orchards with these giant apple trees, and the leaves, you can actually see the apples standing out in them. It's just a really, really great mod that adds a ton of material and a different aesthetic to the game.
That actually sounds lovely. I like mods like that for Minecraft that add more world building or like overhaul biomes. Like I get sometimes frustrated with mods that really change a lot of the game mechanics, but when it just makes like trees prettier, I'm like, oh, that's perfect. That's exactly what I want. I just want the
Yeah,
Minecraft
definitely.
trees to be nicer. Like
Just give me more of what Minecraft already feels like.
exactly, yeah. Oh, that sounds awesome. Okay, so you mentioned being a realm hopper and your full gamertag is RizziRealmhopper. Can you explain the realm hopping?
Yeah, so initially, it was because, as I mentioned, I started all of these worlds where I spawned into jungles, and eventually I would get tired of dying to creepers in the night, being unable to find any sheep to make a bed. And so I would quit the world and start a new one. And that's when I was playing on Pocket Edition. I had a different username. And nowadays, I decided to honor that practice of exiting a world and starting a new one when I got frustrated. I would name myself Realm Hopper. And it ended up working out really well because now I hop between servers as realms.
That's a very cute story. And what I'm curious about is you mentioned always spawning into jungles and dying in jungles. Were you really like were you just getting crazy RNG and generating in jungles all the time? Because I didn't play on Pocket Edition. And I haven't played Minecraft for a very long time, but my understanding is that jungles were like a less common biome.
That's also my understanding. I didn't realize that at the time, obviously, but the first, I think, 4 or 5 worlds that I tried over the course of a few months, I spawned into jungles, and most of them were really, really massive. There was one that had like a plains kind of biome near it, but I didn't realize that that was a totally different biome. I just thought, oh my gosh, I can walk around a little bit through this area of the jungle.
All Minecraft is jungle.
All Minecraft is jungle. You've been to the spruce jungles. We got those cherry jungles that are gorgeous.
Kelp jungles underwater.
That is a jungle, though.
I feel like isn't like I mean a kelp fields are technically considered forests, and if I guess the water is warm, jungle?
I'm gonna say yes. I'm
Everything
gonna
is
say
just
yes.
jungle. We've learned something today.
The more you know.
Okay, so you play on a bunch of different servers. Did you start playing on both of those servers before you were a content creator or after?
It was a little bit before I got into content creation, but content creation was already on the horizon. I think I mostly played on one server with family and friends, and then somebody else from the friends portion of that said, I want to get into content creation. Would you be interested in joining me on this server and building alongside me? And I was like, yeah, I've kind of been thinking about that myself, and I'd totally be happy to join the server. I don't think that I want to start right away, but I'll play on there. And so I was playing on 2 servers at that time. But I didn't get into like 5+ servers until after I'd been in content creation for a little over a year.
What made you get into content creation in the first place?
Um, so the main thing was I needed to leave the job that I was in. It was no longer really safe for me to continue working there because I was managing an art studio in a homeless shelter when the pandemic hit.
Gotcha.
So I left there, and it was kind of a transition between the two. I slowly left there while starting to set things up for streaming. I had been playing a lot more Minecraft, and people were starting to ask me, are you gonna do some Let's Plays or something? And I had no idea what that meant. So I started looking them up and was like, oh, I guess I could do something like that, but I don't know if I want to do videos yet. Editing sounds really hard. So let's try streaming.
Some streaming 100% definitely easier.
Well, at the time I was like, that's got to be easier, right? Little did I know.
hmm
But it's been really great. It was definitely a learning curve at the start. And it's funny, I talk to people all the time because I love to lift up smaller streamers. So whenever somebody
hmm
doesn't have affiliate yet, I'm like, how long you been on that grind? What can we do to help? What are your numbers like? Can we get some follows in there? Do you need viewers? Like, what's the deal? And people get really discouraged if they don't make affiliate the first month of streaming. But it
hmm
took me like 2 or 3 months to get affiliated. And I think that feels really reassuring because I'm in a much better place with my stream these days. So it's like, yeah, we all go through that phase.
Yeah, I think people don't realize how really, really difficult that first hurdle to affiliate is because it's like, oh, 3 average viewers, that's nothing. But in reality, I mean, I think I talked about this recently in my own stuff, is there's like 30,000 people streaming Minecraft at any given time on a
Yeah.
slow day. So, and most of those are not affiliated.
Yep.
So, getting out of that initial bubble is really hard. So, in terms of lifting up smaller streamers, what is something that you struggled with in like starting out streaming?
I think the biggest struggle with starting out in streaming was really just finding what kind of vibe I wanted for the community and the channel, because I knew that I didn't want to fall into the toxic gaming cultures. And it's weird to say that in regards to Minecraft, but it is definitely out there.
hmm
And not in the fun toxic way either. So I knew I wanted to avoid that. But was like, how playful do I want to be with folks? Do I want to just be the landing pad where everyone's comfortable? And I ended up learning a lot from the streams that I hung out in early on, what I liked about their streams, and kind of just adopted those until I felt like I was in a good spot with the community.
Mm-hmm.
But it took a while. It was kind of awkward and bumpy. Not like a big public speaker person, so being awkward in front of people for several months and then a few times a week forever after.
The classic streamer journey, feeling very awkward talking to stream.
Yep. Honestly, one of the big hurdles too was getting comfortable projecting into a
Mm-hmm.
room where I'm the only person actually sitting there.
Yes, it feels so strange to be just like not babbling, because you're not babbling, but just like talking consistently, basically to yourself at the start, and
Mm-hmm.
just to continue talking and not let like the silences creep up.
Yep.
And it's so uncomfortable.
And sometimes you gotta sing a little song,
Do a little dance,
do a little dance.
make a little, you know, get
Uh-huh.
down tonight.
Exactly.
Yep. So, do you find that you hang out in streams that are more similar to yourself, or do you find yourself hanging out and kind of vibing in streams with a very different vibe from yourself?
The funny thing about that is it's definitely a both. I love streams that are super wholesome, try to keep things family friendly as can be, and are really focused on cute, cozy aesthetic. But some folks know that I really enjoy also degenerate just chatting streams where folks are like eating super spicy stuff and yelling at their chat, and just there's complete chaos 100% of the time. It's just a where am I with my sensory scale? Can
Mm-hmm.
I deal with that much chaos today, or do I need a cozier, more relaxed vibe?
That's totally fair. I find myself in similar places where I'm like, I do also love to be in a gremlin chat, but sometimes
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, I am eepy, and I am
Mm,
just gonna sit here and be quiet and lurk because I'm tired.
100%.
But also, I do love
But
gremlin chats.
gremlin chats can be so much fun. There's like an ongoing joke that there's Stream Rizzi and Chat Rizzi,
Mm-hmm.
and there's like 2 or 3 streamers where I'll occasionally cuss in their chat, and every time it's like, oh my
Gasp.
gosh.
So where? Gasp. I can't believe you've done this.
It's really funny too, because one of our buddies in that chat always misses it, and they'll come into chat like half an hour later, and the streamer will be like, oh, Rizzi said this word, and they get so angry that they missed it every time.
That's fantastic. I don't think I've personally seen it, so now I feel like I need to keep an eye out, you know? Like I gotta just creep
Mm-hmm,
around a little
mm-hmm.
bit, do a little investigating.
It's a lovely retro streamer who just recently became partnered.
Oh, congrats to them. So when you say retro, do you mean that retro games then?
Yes.
Oh, so like NES kind of stuff or
Yeah, they do a lot of like old Nintendo. They've played through a ton of Zelda games, Sonic stuff. They've honestly, like, they've just done a ton of retro gaming. It is so much fun over there.
that sounds like a
Very
blast.
sitting on the couch with your older sibling type of vibe.
Oh. So did you play a lot of retro games growing up or did you get into video games later in life?
I actually didn't play that many. We did have a Nintendo 64, and I loved that thing so much. I put countless hours into Glover, this game where you just play as a glove that is walking along a little circus ball, and that's how you move through the levels. It's Honestly, just really nostalgic to think about any of the Nintendo 64 games, but then I stopped gaming until college. I played a few games as a kid and then nothing again until grad school, honestly. When Stardew Valley came out, I got a PC.
That's actually the perfect time to get a PC, or if you need to be productive, the worst possible time. It's either or.
I did have a thesis, but gotta do
Well,
those farms.
yeah, I mean, the crops, the parsnips need watered. Like, you can't wait. The thesis will be fine,
Exactly.
hopefully.
Gotta find that egg.
Exactly. Need a dino egg. Gotta get the dinos.
And blue chickens.
So, yeah, who in Stardew do you choose, and is it Shane for blue chickens?
It is not Shane, but I do really, really love the blue chickens. I do like befriending Shane. I'm just past the I can fix him stage in my life, you know?
Oh, that's so fair.
But I almost always marry Penny.
Penny's a cutie.
Yeah, and I'm not past the I can save her
See, I was gonna
and give her a
ask,
better life.
but her mom is kind of the worst.
Yeah, Pam's a lot to deal with. Luckily, we only see her on holidays,
Hmm.
and if I need to go to the desert and forget that I have a obelisk on my farm.
I've never gotten far enough into the game to get the obelisk, so I'm still unfortunately interacting with Pam, but one day, hopefully, we can move past that.
Yeah, yeah, this is the 7-year farm that I've got.
Oh wow, okay. So you're in for the long haul on your Stardew farm.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I've got other ones that are much shorter term. Most of them are in, I'd say, year 1.5, probably halfway into year 2 at the most. I actually made 2 specifically for content creation. One of them is Rizzi on Realmhopper Farm,
Hmm.
and that's my community center playthrough. And the other is Izir on Realmhopper Farm, which is my evil twin brother,
Oh no, please.
and plays the Jojo route.
No! We have to cancel the interview. I can't.
So I have to tell you, I started both of those and I was committed to playing them equally.
Okay.
And I got to the point where you have to officially decide to commit to the route.
Mm-hmm.
And everyone was so upset that I never played those again.
Oh.
I was like, I can't play either of the Realm Hopper farms anymore because of what I did to the folks of Pelican Town. It's unacceptable.
Truly. I really love how like universally despised the JoJo route is. Like if you look at the like Steam achievements, like no one has that achievement. I don't have that achievement for like going the JoJo route all the way. Like just nobody does it. They're like, I'm sorry, it's too far. That's too far.
It really, really. I thought I was going to be able to do it if I got into the character enough. Like, okay, Azir is Rizzi backwards, so
Mm-hmm.
they're the opposite character. They would do things that I would never do, and we'll play into that. And then it got time, and it's all well
Mm-hmm.
and good, but Rizzi's still the one reading all of the town folks' disappointment.
Oh, it would be too painful. I don't think I could do it.
Yeah, I think I lasted 2 in-game days and had chatted with like half of the people and was like, oh no.
You're a stronger person than me for being able to even go the route. So, Risey, let's talk about one shot. And do you want to explain what one shot is for those who don't know, and your recent joining of one shot?
Sure. So OneShot is a month-long hardcore server where a bunch of folks get together. You've got one shot at survival, one shot an amazing build, and one shot to make memories throughout the season with everyone. It is really chaotic. There are a lot of absolutely top tier builders on there. And I got on last season. So this is my second season. We're just about at the end. Actually, 24 hours and 30 minutes from the end of OneShot currently.
Very
And
specific.
yeah, I just needed to check the time. So we're like really close to the end. I definitely have not finished my build yet. I have been not feeling super well, so I haven't wanted to get onto a hardcore world. I feel like that's asking for danger. But my plan was to build this birdcage out of deep slate and have these vines wrapping through it, little bees flying through the air, and I'd like to get some butterflies in as well, but trying to make them as compact as possible because I want the birdcage to really take center stage.
Like, how big is this birdcage? Because I haven't seen it personally.
It's smaller than this lake.
Okay,
But
for context, this is a very large lake. This
so
is quite large.
I saw a pit of a lake on the map and was like, I want to build there. And I built a large circle around it. So I would say, I don't know, the widest side of the circle is probably 9 blocks. So maybe like a 40 to 50 diameter.
Okay, so it's a big bird cage.
It's a pretty big bird cage, yeah. And it's got, I think it goes 50 blocks into the air currently. From the ground level, there's a little bit that goes below it too. And I got a beautiful location where I drop down into, the surface is in a taiga, but I drop down into a lush cave that is just barely cave. So it's a little lush lake.
So back to one shot. Sorry, go ahead.
Do you ever try to catch a squid that's swimming by?
Occasionally.
This one looks like they'd really like to be part of our game here.
Can you put squids on a lead?
I don't know. That's a really good question. I've never tried it.
Okay, I feel like this is important. We gotta really
Science.
Quick. Science. Oh, I'm putting on leather boots I fished up. One sec. Do I have a lead? Question mark. Do I have a fence post? Question mark. Oh, I have a lot of leads. I do also have fence posts. Well, you know, as a guest, if you would like to do the honorary leashing of a squid, like, please, of course, go ahead.
Oh, sure. Let's see.
What did you do today? I leashed a squid. You
can!
can!
My Lanta.
That's our best friend now.
Hold on.
Just off
Does
she
it
goes.
look ridiculous?
It looks quite funny because like the squid is sort of trying to like swim in other directions, and he's just being like kind of yanked along.
We're best friends. We're having soft tacos later.
Best friends forever.
All right, you can come. Where are you, buddy?
He's underneath. He's doing squid stuff.
He's just vibing. All right.
Yeah, he's chilling. You could probably like attach him to like one of the posts or something. Yeah. He's very determined to stay. He's really shy. He's a little shy.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
I'm gonna put him down here. He can happily live under the dock.
Just, you know,
occasionally... now you want to get out from under the dock, of course.
Yep. You know, that kids, that's how they are.
Always.
It's just a squid, like, randomly poking out through the slats.
Pay no attention to the squid behind the curtain under the dock.
Yep, no squids here. Nope. I completely forgot what I was gonna ask.
Something about one-shot.
Oh, is there something specific that inspired your one-shot birdcage, or just something cool you came up with?
Nothing really. I saw the space and thought, I should make something circular. What should I make? What haven't I made that is a circle? And then I thought, well, I don't really want to make a perfect sphere or anything. How about a cylinder? And I was looking at my lava lamp and thinking maybe that would work, but I walked away from it, and Mom was filling up her bird houses. She's got like a million bird houses and bird feeders around the yard. And I was like, oh, I wonder if I could do a bird feeder kind of design. And the ones that I looked up seemed too intimidating, involved a lot of different materials. But then I saw one of those like iron bird cages.
Oh, like the
And
Victorian style ones?
yes,
Yeah.
yeah. And I thought, ooh, that could be really, really cool. And honestly, Deep Slate isn't a bad choice for trying to go like old iron aesthetic.
Hmm.
So I just started doing that. And then I figured it should probably be something a little bit more than just a bird cage. So we'll get some vines in there. We'll add some cute little bugs, some butterflies and bees in the name of Adventure Time.
What about One Shot has been really fun for you? Is it the community? Is it that it's hardcore? Because I know you're not really much of a hardcore player in the first place, but or is it
Yeah,
just a combination of like a lot of different types of players?
I think it's definitely all three of those things. Primarily, I think the community around it is amazing. I've been able to meet so many really lovely builders and just folks that are out in their community who maybe we've seen each other in chats a fair bit, but didn't really get to know each other until one shot. And that's been a ton of fun. Getting to be on a server with these really top notch builders and farm makers has been amazing. I've recently tried to get into farming as well, redstone stuff, and I'm not very good at it. So having more folks who are and who do it in different styles has been really helpful for me figuring out how to proceed with learning redstone and what types of farms are approachable to me.
Sorry.
Also, like hardcore is a time.
That's fair, that's fair. I'm sorry, I'm just giggling at Maud like floating off in the distance behind us, trying to interview and also distracted. No, One Shot is to me sounds like such a fun experience that and I was when last season I saw that you were on the list, I was so hyped. I was like, yes, this is the perfect person to join this season. So especially
I really
considering
think
your
it's so
long-standing
funny.
hardcore track.
Yeah. I love the like telling folks how I got into hardcore because Torch World was the first time I ever played hardcore. And being like, not only did I outlive everyone who joined me on the server, but I outlived the world itself is just hilarious.
Truly, Rizzi the Indestructible.
Mm-hmm. Unless I attempt any of Dan's games.
Yeah, well, that's different. I think I would be
Yeah.
terrible at those as well, so
Yeah. I knew I was playing with fire by choosing anything than the lowest possibility of death. And I was like, yeah, 25%. Let's go. Let's just send it. Bigger prize, bigger risk. Let's see. An instant splat.
well, it was worth the risk. You know, you had to take that chance.
I couldn't have left one shot without taking at least one risk.
Hmm. No, I think that's fair. And it seems to me that the tradition on One Shot is to find a way to die spectacularly in the last few days. So,
Oh yeah. We've had there was a bit of a murder with permission that I didn't realize had happened until this afternoon, but when Kim finished up her build, she asked Toph to come by and slay her. So
my
that was
build is
excellent.
done. Please end me.
My work here is finished. On to the next world.
I love it.
So iconic. And
Truly.
we've had it's been a bit of a season of murder, honestly. Gutty killed Jack. Zan kinda killed Sokka again.
I heard about that. I didn't see the clip, but I heard it, and I was like, it's not he couldn't have done it again. Like, not
So
again.
did you end up hearing what actually happened?
I did not know.
It is my favorite thing when people ask and they don't know yet to be like, oh my gosh, I can't believe that Zan killed Sokka again. But what happened was, as much detail as I have, is that a skeleton was named Zandingo and shot Sokka.
Fantastic.
Yep.
Okay,
I don't
so
know
like,
how planned, but that's how it happened.
I love that. So like in the chat, it said Zandingo shot
Yep.
Sokka, but Zan did. Oh, that's great.
The greatest part of it is I think the only clip, at least the only one I've seen, is from Jamal's point of view. And he's like, what? Zan? And Zan's standing there and he's like, that wasn't me. What do you mean?
It wasn't me.
It wasn't me. I'm right here.
Oh, I love what those two and in the last season, like, I just love that group doing nonsense on
Oh my
one
gosh,
shot.
they're so much fun.
Yeah. Today, Zan and Jamal were running around dressed like toys from Toy Story, randomly laying on the
gosh.
ground and not moving if people looked at them, and it was really funny.
That's so silly. I love it.
Right? Absolutely so goofy. All right, and I have we're coming up on about 50 minutes actually. So I have one silly question for you, and then we can sort of round out the evening. If shrimps wore pants, how would they wear them?
That's a really good question. Like, would they wear them across their little bellies so that it covers all of their legs? Or just. I feel like it would just cover the back because the front legs are like their arms, and you wouldn't put your arms in pants.
Mm-hmm.
Could I ask you a question?
Yeah, absolutely you can.
Are shrimps bugs?
Oh yeah, shrimps is death bugs.
Okay, good.
Shrimps is
Shrimps
100% bugs. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
I have a buddy that has like a bad shrimp tattoo that just says shrimps is bugs, and it's the funniest.
Oh my gosh.
It's a great. I want that tattoo. Like it's great.
I haven't even seen it, and I want that tattoo.
Like, it's so good. So technically, like invertebrates like that in the ocean are considered. They're basically insects. Because I mean they have an exoskeleton. They have no internal skeleton. They just happen to live in the water. So like
100%.
crabs is bugs.
Lobsters is bugs.
Lobsters is bugs. Yep. So like any sort of crustacean like that has an exoskeleton is basically bugs.
Yeah, I saw a post recently where somebody was preparing cicadas to eat, and
I mean, that's
the
a
comment.
choice.
Yeah, it's a thing that's done in a lot of places, and honestly, if you remove the parts that are real buggy like, I'd be fine with trying it out. And people were talking about how they taste just like lobster.
Oh.
And people were like, oh, that's revolting. I could never. It's like, why are you going to eat an ocean bug and you're not going to eat a land bug?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, technically, lobster only in recent history has been considered a delicacy. Up until like the 1850s, it was considered like gross. So
yeah, they actually had a rule in the colonies that you can only serve prisoners lobster 3 times a week. No more.
Because it was bugs.
Yep, because it was bugs. Can only feed your prisoners bugs 3 times a week.
Man, imagine you're in jail now and you get lobster 3 times a week. It would be great.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Oh, how the times have changed.
The turns have tabled.
Truly. But yeah, shrimps is bugs. I think that's confirmed scientifically.
Awesome. I'm glad we're on the same page.
Personally, I think if shrimps wore pants, I'm with you that they would pull the pants over their tail and over their back legs, but then leave the front ones out because those are definitely arms, right? Like they gotta pick stuff up
Yeah,
with those.
they
I
gotta.
have seen an illustration of shrimps though, like pulling the pants up over all of the legs just to cover their belly, and that was way too funny. But I don't think
That
that's
also
right.
sounds kind of cute, but like, how
Very
else
cute.
are? How do you make pizza if your arms are in pants?
Exactly, you can't. And how do you get the little hat on?
Exactly.
People who don't know what pizza shrimp are going to be so confused. And, I'm not going to explain it. It's fine. There's going to be
They just need to
confused.
figure it out.
Google it. Pizza shrimp. You'll figure it out. Hopefully.
They'll
Well,
get there eventually.
yeah, exactly. Like, I mean, it's sort of like a weird Tumblr post at this point. I feel like you can't explain pizza shrimp. You just have to find out about pizza shrimp.
I feel like this is going some like pizza shrimp is a way of life, you know?
I mean, basically it is. All hail pizza shrimp.
I always use pizza shrimp for how I feel when I'm gaming. I feel like a pizza shrimp.
Just a little guy
Just
making
a
a
little
pizza.
guy.
Just a little guy, yeah.
Just a silly little guy making a pizza, wearing a hat.
That's how I feel anytime I'm cooking food. I'm just a little guy. I'm making some food.
Yep.
Just a little guy shrimping. All right, well, Rizzi, this is about the end of our fish review. So thank you so much for joining today. I hope you had a lovely time. I know I did.
Thank you for having me. I caught 3 fishing rods and 2 bows.
Oh, very nice, very nice. So before we end, where on the internet can everyone find you?
The most consistent place to find me is twitch.tv/RizziRealmhopper. I am RRealmhopper on Twitter and RizziRealmhopper everywhere else. But I am going to be going on a vacation over the next month, so people won't be finding me anywhere for a little bit.
Well, you hear that? Hear that here? No Rizzi. Sorry. Too bad. You'll just have to listen to the fish review, and that's all you're getting. So.
Exactly. It'll have to tide y'all over until July.
Well, I'll be crying in a corner, but I don't know about everyone else. Probably similarly upset. But enjoy your vacation. That's a whole month. Sounds awesome.
Thank you. Yeah, going to England, so completely detaching, getting into a different time zone, everything.
Oh, that is awesome. Enjoy. I love England, so I'm jealous.
Next time, we'll pack you in the suitcase.
I should fit, I think, so
Perfect.
that works out. Yeah, I'm just a little cat. I'm travel sized.
Just a little guy.
I'm just a little guy, yeah. Just like bugs. Shrimps is bugs, and they're little guys, so that checks out.
Shrimps is bugs, shrimps is little guys, small is little guys, small is shrimp, small is bugs.
The math is mathing.
Off the rails again, okay.
Off we go. Just totally left field. All right, Rizzi, thank you so much for joining us for the fish review today.